Welcome everybody to the Chess Lab, welcome to episode 11 of the Repertoire Mastery. The goal of this series, as you know by now if you have been following the previous videos, and if you don't know, is to basically play games according to three courses that form, three chessable courses that form my repertoire. And I have a spreadsheet where if I follow the repertoire correctly, I write down a green tick. And if I don't follow the repertoire because I forget my moves, I put down a red cross. The goal is to reach 100 green ticks. That simply means 100 games where I follow the repertoire correctly. And from there we'll see what I will do, because I'm not sure. Today I slept a lot, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to play some those games, and perhaps play some decent chess. Okay, e4, my repertoire states that I should play c5, the Sicilian, knight f3, knight c6, and d4, that's the open Sicilian. Another option was the Rossolimo with bishop b5, but that's something else. Take, and now I go for the accelerated dragon with g6. The difference with the main dragon is that in some lines you play d5 in one move rather than d6, d5. You cannot see it because the screen doesn't reach that spot in the monitor, but there is a spectator, and there was a spectator even yesterday. So perhaps I have a rating where it's enough for me to go on the Lichess TV. And, you know, that's just, I'm just telling you, you know, it's not that it really matters, but... Okay, so now knight to f6. This is all standard stuff. And here there are some moves, some possibilities. No matter what they do, I'm gonna castle, unless they do something, of course, like knight takes. In that case, I take back. And we'll see what they do. Knight takes, pawn takes, and e5. I simply play knight g8. Okay, here I castle after f3. And here, if they play bishop c4, I actually have the move queen b6. Bishop c4 is not correct here. I think f3 is not optimal, but I don't know. If queen d2, I go with d5 straight away. And I think that in general, I'm gonna go with d5 straight away. I have two screens. One is the main PC here where I play. Down there, when I can look at you guys, there is the webcam. And up here I have another monitor with two tabs open. On one side there is my recording software, which is Streamlab Desktop. On the other side there is the chart, the financial market charts open, you know. There is an asset that I'm monitoring, and if the criteria are met, I'm gonna take a trade. In my spare time outside of chess, I do some trading, you know. I'm learning. Every trade I take, I just risk $1, and my portfolio is like around $150, so nothing serious, obviously, but I'm learning, you know. It's like playing chess online and not with your FIDE rating. It's just, even if you lose some points, it doesn't really matter. You're learning. Okay. I told you these things just because I'm in theory, so I don't really have to think much about the position, and we are waiting for my opponent to play. So it's just to make some conversation, you know. And okay, here, what else is there to say? Again, okay, bishop c4, but I think this is not the proper way to go, because after queen to b6, I'm hitting this guy, and I'm threatening knight takes e4, believe it or not, because if they take back, I win the piece back. And after queen b6, you may be afraid of some discoveries, but the reality is this guy's undefended. And after queen b6, if knight here, I can take, and all of a sudden this guy's under attack, and this guy's under attack. So yeah, queen b6 is the move. And I don't know what the best move for white is. I think that now I can just take here. I think that's still my theory, believe it or not. Now a move goes knight here, check, here we go. So now there is check. They play c3, now I go knight c5. This is main stuff. Now they take here, I take back with the d-pawn, they check me, I go here, they take my bishop, I take back. And it's a game of chess. Yeah, this is all standard stuff. This is all standard stuff. Yeah, and now my theory actually ends here, believe it or not. Well, in Chessable there are two types of lines. There are the clickable lines, which is just the master or the grandmaster making the course annotating. And then there are the trainable lines, which are the lines that you actually repeat with the space repetition software, meaning the ones that you really memorized. And in this line, the trainable lines, meaning the ones that you really memorize, ends here. However, there are a couple of clickables. First of all, bishop here is not good, because after rook d8 they experience massive issues. And if they castle, the move is to take, and this is again is just a clickable. After queen takes b3, you go back to c7 to protect both pawns. So if they castle, I take, and if they take my pawn, I play rook d8. Now I think castling is best, yeah, and here I take, and I just go back. If they play a takes b3, I have no idea what to do, but I'm just gonna go back anyways, okay? I go back. Yeah, I think that's okay. If they take here, I have b6, and their bishop's trapped. And if after I go here, they take, I guess I take, they take, I play b6, and their bishop's under attack. They play queen a1 to defend, I play rook a8. And after bishop takes b6, that seems smart because he's attacking everything. I take with check and it's over. So queen c7 is definitely possible, and I think I'm gonna go for it. Queen c7. The pawn is not under attack, at least that's the conclusion of my calculations. And okay, so we are on move 16. We are not in theory anymore, but I know that this is gonna be a green tick. And also, by the way, the last game I played, I forgot to put the green tick or not, but I then checked, and I don't remember if it was a green tick or a red cross the last game that I played yesterday, but oh yeah, it was a green tick because it was that weird kind of Catalan that white tried to go for, and then when they took in the center c takes d5, if I'm not mistaken, that was not correct. I played e takes d5 and it was already -0-2, -0-3 for black. So yeah, it was a green tick the last game, and after I closed the video I remembered to do that and I did it, so it's in the spreadsheet despite me forgetting to do it. And okay, here what's going on in this position here, you know. Okay, there is the a7 pawn. You always have to remember that it exists, but overall it feels like I have a decent position, you know, and I kind of like my position here, you know. Okay, so there are some ideas here. There are some ideas, you know. c5 is an idea with b6 to make sure this bishop bites on granite. And if b4 I just take, and if they take back, they have the worst pawn structure ever. So fixing those pawns and this bishop with c5, b6 is an idea. Okay, then of course rook e8 to attack the bishop is an idea. To play rook d8 is an idea, but again b6 then will make sense to protect this pawn and also block the bishop. Also rook d8 to just win a tempo on the queen, and if the queen moves here, for example, then you attack the bishop, which wouldn't attack the bishop, but it's pinned, with threats like bishop h6, but not really. So the position is definitely complicated. A move like bishop e5 perhaps makes sense to attack this guy and forcing some weakenings, and especially after c5 b6. If we force them to do something like this, then I have access to the light squares to create some attacks, perhaps. And, you know, playing b6, a5 is perhaps not the best way to go. I can also go a6. The reason I say this is because I would have all my pawns on light squares, and my bishop has dark squares. But I don't know. Here is best this structure here or this structure here. And this is something I really don't know. Or perhaps a5. So as you can see, pawn structures, pawn play is something that I still have to figure out and to study. And perhaps then with the engine I'm gonna study a little bit from this position, some different configuration of pawns. It's gonna be very interesting. But also there is piece play. And I heard that very strong players, they focus more on piece play, if there is piece play to be played. Okay. Also, perhaps in some lines in the future, king g8 is going to be best, because it improves the position of the king for eventual endgames, and it also overprotects this f7 pawn. Again, the b7 pawn and the f7 pawn are nicely guarded by the queen, but this may not be true forever. So this is definitely something to consider. Also, after king g8, ideas like after queen e2 to play rook e8 and bishop h6, they actually work because there is no bishop g4 with check. So going on a light square is not a bad idea, in my opinion. But yeah, this is a very complex position. It's not clear where black should attack and where black should defend. It's not clear what the typical plans are. And perhaps I should focus on the squares. For example, there is a somewhat tender square on d3. Perhaps I can infiltrate with the rook, but at the same time, what am I attacking? After they go back, this is very nicely guarded, this is very nicely guarded. b3 is a little bit of a weakness, but also this move is not clear how do I attack it. Also, the light squares. I control the light squares decently because I have all my pawns on light squares, and I still have some control of the dark squares because of my dark square bishop. Oh, they took? Wait, what? I thought that was wrong. Well, here I have to take. What? Am I crazy? Now I play b6. What? Am I insane? b6, queen a1, rook a8, bishop takes, queen takes comes with check. I calculated this, dude. But unless I'm missing something astrophysical. Am I missing something astrophysical? I think they blundered. I think the blunder that this comes with check and I win the game. I think that's as simple as that. Yeah, this is where calculation is important. But there is also a chance I blundered something. We should not assume, you know. I don't know. I mean. Okay. I really don't know, guys. Sorry if I'm not talking all of a sudden, but I'm confused. Okay, play rook a8. Am I insane? What? And there is some interesting ideas of going here with the rook. Yes, okay, so now it's time to calculate again. So if I take this guy with the rook, I'm attacking the queen, but they're gonna check me. I play bishop f8, they check me, of course. And after I play king g7, I'm attacking the rook and their queen at the same time. And it's just over. It's just over. Another move I can play is king g8, quite simply. But why not go force? Again, rook here, rook check, bishop f8. Do they have something like queen here, perhaps? But no, because I will just go here. No, I wouldn't go there. But I will go here. Yeah. And then I take back control of the dark squares with something like this. Yeah, I think I'm going for it. So check, check, bishop f8, rook takes f8, king g7. And the rook's on f8. And I'm threatening to win the queen with check. So probably rook takes f7 is best, but then I just go here and I'm winning. So okay, I'm gonna go for it, and if it's wrong, it's wrong. Listen. If it's wrong, it's wrong, okay? Of course, taking with the queen was also possible, but then check. No, well, actually, taking with the queen loses, because after check bishop here, they take here, and I lose the game. Very nicely. Okay, bishop f8. Okay, this line is a little bit, you know, you are a little bit scared, you're a little bit, you're not sure, but... Okay, queen here makes sense, because they're trying to go here. Okay, queen d1, perhaps I've underestimated this move. If I go here, they just take because it's pinned. If I go here, what are they gonna do? They're gonna check me here. Okay, but then I play this move here. And I should be fine. Are there other checks? There is rook takes, of course, but then I take, then they check me here. Then I block, then they check me again, then I move, then they check me again, then I block, then they take here. But then I guess I move here and I'm fine. I'm up a rook after all. So I'm gonna go for this. Now I'm threatening bishop c5 as well, together with queen d7. Or even c5. I'm threatening some things. Yeah, I think this is not enough for them. I had perhaps better moves, like king g8 was probably best, but I saw this line and I'm like, fair enough. Okay, so here I thought about queen here, but I realized that if I go here, that's perhaps just better. What checks do they have? They only have one check, right? And then I can move here, and how many checks do they have at that point? They have 0 checks. So let me just go here. They only have this one check there. Okay, now after I go here, what checks do they have? These they don't have, so I'm just gonna go here. Okay, they go there. Now, if I go here, they check me here. Then I go back here. And how many checks do they have at that point? They have 0 and I'm threatening to infiltrate. Okay, so let me do it. Can I take here? Now let's keep things safe and simple, safe and sound. I'm up a rook after all, so all I have to do is kind of, you know, just untangle my pieces a little bit. I just realized I could have gone rook a2 and that's probably crashing, but here we are. I guess that's also good enough. Check. I go here, they have a check here though, which I didn't notice. And then I go here. Yeah, things are getting a little bit annoying. What if I go here though? They can check here. What if I go here though? They can check here. What if I go here? They can check back. But then I go here and they have no more checks. Let me calculate this correctly. So, King f7, only check Queen f4, Queen f5, only check Queen c4, Queen d5, only check Queen f4, King g7, and I got no more checks. Am I crazy for this? Check. There was also Queen h8, which was interesting, but they didn't play it, so... yeah, there are no checks there. Now I go here. There's only one check there. And now I go here, and there are no more checks, right? Okay. Well, I just take. What is this? This is now easy. Yeah, what? Okay, this was a game. This was a game. GG, of course, GG. Clean game. Perhaps there was something better for me at some point, but maybe not. Maybe I just played 99% accuracy. This may be the most accurate game I've ever played. Look at this. I'm just gonna stare at this for a while, sorry. This is so good. 99% accuracy. I played like an engine. This is so good. I mean, half of the game is theory, but this shows that the repertoire works potentially. This is a clean GM game. Holy shoot. I've noticed that if I sleep for like 10, 11 hours, I play decent chess, compared to when I sleep 3 hours. Can you imagine? Yeah. So if you think you suck at chess, just sleep well. And if you suck at chess after you slept well, well then okay, then improve at chess. But why not improving your sleep first? Unbelievable, like, I've never played so accurately ever. That's crazy. Yeah, they only did one blunder because the final inaccuracy, it was already -5. They just made one blunder and that's it. So this is all theory, and as you can see, the reason why this is considered inaccurate from white is because Queen c7 best, also very nice. This is because like white lost his opening edge, you know, that +0.2, +0.3, and now is like black who has a slightly better position. However, this is not winning for black, and black you can't even say it has an advantage. It's just equal, but black is comfortable, you know? It's like white in the beginning. He's equal, but white is comfortable. But it's not, like, it's equal. But okay, my opponent blundered with rook takes a7. I just took, they took, and here I just played b6. And I just won a piece. And here again, the point is that if they take, you play king g7, and all of a sudden, this guy hangs and this guy hangs. And so like take, but you just take back, and it's over. So queen d1 was played, but now king g7. And here again, I'm happy because I was not afraid of the checks. I just checked that everything was fine. And here I wanted to block like this. But then I realized there is this, 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 it's annoying. And so I'm like, okay, just king g8. And I realized there are no more checks, so king f2. And now queen d7, check. And here, queen here is interesting, but I guess there are some moves here. Check perhaps is a thing, but perhaps not even. Perhaps just moving the king away. Just running with the king is probably best. I just want to see up until where craziness can run. I guess it can run pretty far. Yeah, so everything is fine here. Like, you can do everything here. Anything. But okay, here there was this sequence, very nice, and here there are no more checks, so perhaps b4 was best, but now rook f7, and finally the piece up matters, and here there's nothing. This is just completely crashing. As you can see, once you have a formation like this, there's nothing to be done. You know, and you just trade queens and you win the game. But my opponent played queen d4, which just makes it very simple. I wanted to continue with rook a2 here. Yeah, it's obviously best because you just grab all the pawns. So yeah, clean game, and most importantly, we have one more game in theory. So we go at 14. So as you can see, in the beginning I was a little bit but now I'm starting to have some streaks where I actually play in line with the theory. Okay, so that was such a good game, very clean. Not that it was difficult to have a game like this clean, but you know, I knew my theory that my opponent got greedy and he just got punished for it. And the guy was like 2100, and I didn't even check, but like 2100. Clean 2100. One of the easiest games I've ever had. I didn't even sweat. I'm not flexing. It's just I just have to make sure that I didn't get some perpetuals, but that's relatively easy to do. So very nice, of course. So tomorrow I have a tournament over the board. It's not a classical tournament, it's a rapid tournament, so it ends in one day. It's 9 rounds, 10 minutes plus 5 seconds of increment, or 10 seconds of increment, I don't remember. And it's a cross-club tournament event, meaning there are 2 clubs, which is our city and a city close to us, and we basically collaborate to make this tournament. The strongest players in the region and the province are invited. And some of them are here, some of them are not. But there are definitely some strong players tomorrow. I'm number 8 as of right now in the standings, but maybe I'm going to be lower tomorrow, I don't know. There are a couple of FIDE Masters, many candidate Masters, first-class category players, and everyone else, of course, below that. So, yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. And there is a non-0% chance that my new rapid rating is going to be above 2000, because I don't have a rapid rating, and if I play some decent games tomorrow, I may get, because I usually perform at 2000 when it comes to the Classico, and when it comes to the rapid I'm probably slightly weaker, but if I'm able to perform at 2000 level, since it's my first tournament, I may get that as a rating. So I may get a rating of 2000 in rapid, which would be pretty funny, because I will achieve 2000 in rapid before my classical, which is something that I thought was never a thing, because I'm like, when I started to play chess, I'm like, I'm never gonna play rapid, I'm never gonna play blitz, because it makes no sense. However, I wanted to join this tournament because it's a nice event organized by the head of our chess club and also the head of this other chess club. And there are many friends of mine both in this chess club and in the other chess club, and I think it's overall a nice event to glue together the chess community locally here. So I'm like, yeah, of course I'm gonna participate. As soon as I knew about the tournament, I joined, and it just so happened that it's FIDE rating homologation, meaning it works for your FIDE rating. But so I'm gonna have a rapid rating, you know. That was not my goal. It's just gonna happen. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see what my rapid rating is going to be after those two tournaments, because it's a tournament on 2 days. There is tomorrow, which is 9 rounds, and then there is going to be in 2 weeks another 9 rounds. And in the end, there are prizes for the first day, there are prizes for the second day, and of course there are overall prizes, which are the money prizes. And 18 rounds in 3 weeks, basically, if you count all of them. Or 2 weeks if you just count the 2 days of the event. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Okay, so we're playing against the 2200. He plays e4, I play c5. Let's see what he got. Okay, b4. Whoa. Here, everything I know is that you take, but I don't know much after that. Okay, now a3. After a3, I'll have to tell you the truth. I'm not particularly sure what I'm supposed to do. I really don't know already. Perhaps e5 is a move. The problem with e5 is that I'm afraid that is like main theory or something. I don't know. I don't like main theory stuff. Perhaps d5 is a move. And if they take, I take. And if they take, I check and I win the rook. You know what? I think that's the move. Yeah, d5. And if they take, I just take in the center. And right now they don't have knight c3 to defend everything. Okay, they take, I take. So right now I'm threatening this move. So that's something. Okay, they defend against it. I can try to be a nasty guy and go for bishop b4. They take, I take. They take, I check. They block, I take. They take though. Very important. And I can take here though. But this is checkmate. Okay, so that's not nice. Well, what do I do? I can play g6. They take. I play bishop g7. They play knight f3. I take. They have to take like this. I trade queens. And they have the bishop pair, but I claim to have the better pawn structure. Is this a claim? I don't know. I can also play knight c6 if they take, but I don't want to go for pawns. I don't like going for pawns. I can also play e5, now that I think about it, and if they take, I take with the bishop. And if they play knight here, I do this. You know what? e5 is not stupid. Queen e2, knight c6, d4. I can even just push, and this guy hangs. Okay, I'm gonna go with e5. But okay, e5, bishop b2, knight c6, queen e2. I can always play bishop d6. If they take at this point, I take like this. And I'm threatening some checks. So yeah, I'm gonna play... I can also play d6, you know, very chill. But then these bishops lock inside. So what about bishop b4 for real? Bishop e2 and now e6, so with the idea of guarding this guy. Bishop here, pawn here. Again, pawn here is critical. Pawn here is critical. Because I play bishop here, queen here. check, bishop here, takes, knight here, queen here, knight here, there's checkmate, so I have to play something like e6. Queen here, queen here, queen here with check, I go here, I don't like that at all. Bishop here, pawn here, takes, I can just take, and they have ugly structure, and then play e5. But I can also play f6. No, I can go e5. Yeah, I can go e5, absolutely. I can absolutely go e5. I'm gonna go e5. I don't know why I got for a second concerned. Okay, now I can take like this though. Am I crazy? Maybe I am. Who knows? Maybe I'm playing too risky. Maybe I'm just falling for hubris, you know? Maybe, but maybe not. Okay, they are trying to trade this bishop. I may just comply, quite frankly. I just take. If they take with the rook, okay, I just develop. What's the big deal? You know? I may actually develop with bishop here, but I don't know. I can play knight c6, take, they attack my... They take, they go here, but I defend like this. And I'm up a piece. Okay, so let's take. Okay, they take with the knight, perhaps bishop here is a threat. But okay, I'm just gonna play knight c6 here, quite frankly, with the idea of castling. But okay, knight b5 perhaps even is a move. So perhaps I want to play bishop d7 first to prevent that. I don't know, I don't like that. I don't like that. So... Knight c6, knight b5, knight a6 though. The usual stuff. But then rook takes. Oh. But then queen check. Bishop here, let's say, or something. I take, check, I go here. This is not an easy position. Bishop d7 perhaps is called for. I'm gonna play bishop d7. Bishop c4, check, I just check them. Okay. But that's not too concerning, I guess. Can I play knight here? Oh, but knight here, there is knight here. So perhaps I play knight here. Yeah. The position looks like some weird painting, but it may as well work. I could have also go with this. That was perhaps the best, because after this I got this. Yeah, bishop c6 was perhaps best. Also after this there was this, and if this there is this, so that was perhaps better. Yeah, bishop c6 perhaps was more appropriate, but I want to castle, you know. I really want to castle, guys. That's my dream. That's my dream, is to castle. So can I go here? I think I can. There is this, but I have this also. And then just moving back. Knight here, I castle. And knight here, knight here. I sacrifice an exchange and I go for the kill. That's probably right. Queen there attacking this guy. Okay. I can just develop and defend. They play knight b5, I castle. I'm a happy person. And now this doesn't work because I win their knight, so... I feel like my position is not bad, believe it or not, because my pieces looks a little bit weird, but look at their pieces. Okay, this does nothing though. Am I crazy? I just castle. And maybe I am insane, but it feels like this does... What is this? What? I just attack the knight, they're gonna go here, attacking my queen. I just move. Check, I take, thank you very much. I don't know. And okay, I can also just go here, you know. They attack me, I go here. If I go here, they take, I take, they take. Okay, so perhaps I want to stay defending this guy. And then they take like this. I go here. I think it's fine for me. It's a little bit risky, this whole thing, but... I must admit my opponent is finding some interesting moves, exactly as I was saying. Okay. That's definitely some interesting things. Okay. Okay, so yeah, definitely some tactics, definitely some tactics. What can I do? Well, I want to get rid of this knight, so I can play bishop to e6 perhaps. Then they're gonna go here, maybe. Definitely annoying. Yeah, I'm just gonna go here. Trying to get rid of that knight. They take like this, okay. Now I finally take here. I need to get rid of that knight. Okay, now I jump in here. Let's see what happens. you know, it's definitely an interesting position. I still feel like I'm not worst though somehow. Sorry if I'm not commentating much, but this is pure tactics, and my opponent is obviously one of those super tricky guys, but I don't know somehow, and they're up a pawn even, but I don't know. It's just unusual position, a very unusual position here. For some reason, it feels like I can't be worst, but I don't know. I can't quite prove that. Okay, they take. Okay, this is one of those positions that is like, did you blunder, bro? You know? Because now I can take. They have to take. They have to take. And then do I have intermediate move or something? I can take here, they take, I take, but then they play b4, that looks good. I can also just take here. They take here, they win a piece. Then I check them here. They block with the knight. It feels like I have something there. But what? I can also just take, they take, and I take here, and I'm threatening checkmate, I'm threatening to win the rook, threatening a bunch of stuff. They have to play something like g3, for example. But then I go here. Attacking their bishop. They perhaps fork me here. Then I attack this, they take here, I take here. And I'm left with two knights for the two rooks. I think that's better for me. But I don't know. I feel like... Oh, wait a second. Queen takes, pawn here, check. But they can't just defend. That's a pity. But you see, that's why you have to look out for everything here, you know. But yeah, queen here, knight here, check here, take here. I mean, if they play bishop here, I have my knight there on purpose. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go for it unless again, knight here, queen here, perhaps check here, but they just go here. I don't see the advantages. I take here, they take here. Knight here, queen here, knight here, rook here, knight here, b4. I really don't see it. A rook here is the only other thing. They take here. Check. Knight there. The problem is they're controlling everything. I also thought about this, but there is this even. But then I have this. Because that's interesting, but then they go here. Okay, but let's calculate a little bit deeper. So I take here, they take here, I check. They go here, I check. They take here, I check. They block like this. I check. Can't see it, so I'm just gonna go for the safe route. I'm just gonna go with the safe route, guys. I struggle to believe this is okay for them. But maybe it is. It's just unusual for me to believe, that's all. Okay, I thought about that move. Now, there are multiple options here I can go for. But none of them are convincing. So, rook here, knight here. Rook takes, knight takes, king takes. King here. Knight here, or something to attack that pawn. I think I want to go for it. Is there another way to take advantage of those situations? Like, let's go. Oh, they defend like that? Wow, okay. I didn't consider that possibility. Now, if I go here, they take here, I guess. That's not good. Or is it? I don't know. Now I don't know which move to make, though, because I'm kind of stuck. How can I attack this knight? It's not clear. Knight here, perhaps. But no, I can't really move. I can't really move. I can't really move. That's so annoying. What if I go rook here? Rook here loses a pawn for me. But what else is there to do? I can try perhaps to go here and here, maybe. Knight b5. With the idea of knight here. I don't know. Knight here, king here, knight here. Seems kind of decent. I'm gonna go here. And we'll see what they come up with. We'll see what they come up with. There is d4, of course. And I enter a pawn endgame down a pawn. I should be able to draw that. It's gonna be, of course, a struggle, but we do that as well. If we do that as well. Yeah. Okay, they go back, defending their knight. But this allows me to have some breathing, perhaps. In the form of knight here. maybe. Okay, they go here. That's a very good move. Can I attack their bishop? Sorry for that. They're playing well. They're playing well. Rook there, of course. Logical. But now I just go back. I just have my position, you know. Nothing crazy. Now I take here. They take with a pawn. Now I attack their pawn. Now I create an escape square. They go back. And it's not easy for me, of course, this position. They want to go here, they want to go here. I'm going to play rook b8 to prevent knight here and see what happens. Rook there. Okay. Let's try to bring my king closer. Let's see if this helps. I have a really bad feeling for this game, simply because, I mean... Okay, they really want to go here. Fair enough. Yeah, it's tough for me, it's tough. It's really tough. Perhaps I go here, I don't know why I would do that, but... Let's try to find some counterplay, I guess. If I go here, they play knight c4, but then it's a very weird move what I just did, but they ignore it completely. What about going here now? They don't care, yes, they just do that. Yeah, and they just win. Okay, GG. Unbelievable. Yeah, that was really well played by my opponent. I just got defeated, you know. I'm gonna resign. Well, I tried my best, but it didn't work. Wow. I don't even remember what the opening was. What happened in this game? I got... But that's the point. If you lose a chess, you are supposed to not really understand what happened, because otherwise you wouldn't have lost, right? They played very well, and that's pretty much it. So... Oh, they played b4, this weird thing. Yeah. And here I was better, all of this was correct. Bishop d7 is wrong though, I should have played knight c6. And on knight to b5, I just queen d8, yeah. I just have a normal game. And here knight takes c5, queen e2, queen e7, rook a3 even. Sorry, rook a3. What? I saw rook a3 in the engine. But okay, d4, knight d3, c takes d3, bishop e6. Okay, weird moves, but bishop d7 I played, this is wrong, queen e4, and my opponent just played very well. Here I should have played rook a to d8, but rook a to c8, yeah, rook takes a7, I'm like, I was shocked. And here I should have played rook b8, which I saw, but I'm like, what am I supposed to do after that? Queen h5, bishop here, b5. Crazy, I understand nothing of this. And this is just not good. They found all the good moves, and I mean this endgame is relatively easy. Yeah, here I completely crumbled, but I made one mistake, one blunder, and one inaccuracy. Yeah, the last four moves were complete crumbling, but in my defense I can say I had 20 seconds. And what do you do? But okay, that's the game. Now, the only thing that I'm a little bit concerned is that if I play the d-best moves or not. Did I play d-best moves or not when it comes to the opening? Did I follow the opening, I should say? We'll see. I don't know why I clicked on the chapter. All I have to do is browse the 3. Okay, so let's flip this. e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6. And they did none of that. They played b4. C takes b4, a3, d5 is indeed the move. E takes d5, queen takes d5, knight f3, and here e6. Okay, so I didn't respect the repertoire. A takes b4, bishop takes b4, and that's it. So I didn't respect the repertoire. Okay, I should have played e6. Very interesting. So let's go here. Well, not here. Clicked on the wrong thing. And game 20, it's a red X, unfortunately, but it's fine, it happens. And a loss, tough game. But, you know, that's just another day at the office for a professional, so let's keep going. Okay, I will say that we can play 3 games today because I see that it's just 1 hour of recording, we usually do 2. So let's go, third game, let's keep going. 1 game with the white pieces, here we go, knight f3, d5, g3, this is standard theory. Let me drink because I'm quite thirsty. And why is this like this? Here, that's better. Okay. Yeah, the previous game was tough, was really tough, because, you know, that's a very highly tactical game, and I don't know, maybe, I don't know, it's just unusual positions. Those are tough games because you just lose them, you know, it's just, there's not much you can do. It's like with that little time on the clock, I can't really play too precise. Okay, so bishop b4, the threat is take, and then just win the pawn. So what can I do? This I think I've never faced, also, so... Well, I can play knight e5, which attacks the bishop, so they have to, like, take, or go back with the bishop. Then I take, and I'm attacking the pawn. They defend, perhaps. And what do? I'm not too big of a fan of that. So I can just take, perhaps, or play c6 to reinforce my center. I think I'm gonna go with c6. Well, it's c3, I don't know why I said c6. But c3, I'm just reinforcing my center, and I'm just playing some safe chess. I'm gonna play it from there. I clearly have no idea what's going on here, so I'm just gonna play it relatively safe. Okay, so this bishop's annoying, clearly. I can play h3, they probably just go back. I can also just play bishop g5. If they play h6, I put all my pawns on dark squares. This guy's a little bit annoying, but I just go here, and then I move my queen out. I could move my queen out immediately now that I think about it, which is also typical and in line with those type of positions. And then they play queen b6, I can take, they take. I don't know what I achieve. What to do? I really don't know what to do here. Okay, so let's think like it's a normal position. How can I develop my pieces here? I can take, force their bishop to b4. So a way I like to do it is like play a3 and treat it a little bit like the reverse semi-Slav, because it's true that my bishop can easily go out, and if I play e3 is not the semi-Slav, is something weird. But also I like the fact that, let's say they move, I take, I can't draw arrows. They take, I play b4, they go back, I play c4, let's say. I'm not disliking that idea too much. So I think I'm gonna go with a3. Engines usually don't like these a3 moves for white in this type of structures, but is it really that bad? Takes, bishop here, knight here, and then go for b4 and c4. I kind of like this type of development schemes, with bishop b2 to follow. The pawn can stay on e2, I'm not too concerned about that. So now I take, because I don't want them to play c4. I'm basically doing what I did against my opponent on in a real tournament I played. Okay, now I play this. And now I just go here. But maybe then they play this. Yeah, this position is not too easy, perhaps, but perhaps I should play e3 first, but then they play b5. So these they play here. But then I can play c5 and I get d square for my knight. I'm gonna go for it, let's see what happens. I'm just curious to see how they're gonna react. We'll see. If anything is a chess position, you know. Queen e7. Okay, but now I'm just gonna go bishop b2. If they push here, I take. And I don't think that's a problem. If they push here on the other end, now I go here once more, and now I have this square on e6 to reach. I can always just take as well, and if they take like this, I'm playing against the isolated pawn with e3. And but again, I don't like this situation, but I can always, I guess, fix the situation. And if they take with the knight, I guess I just go bishop b2. What on bishop b2 immediately? Again, they push like this. Yeah, I don't like that too much, but it's interesting as well. But I don't know, because, okay, if I go here, they push, but also they open up this bishop. I go here, let's say they go here, I go here. What if they go here? Can I go here, perhaps? No, I just do nothing. I just play queen here, let's say. And the position is just... Okay, I'm just gonna go bishop b2 then. Just curious to see what happened. Just curious to see what happens. Also, a move I want to play is queen to b3, especially after something like this. So queen b3, d4, but then again b5. It's very complex, very complicated, but I think I like the idea of being in this complicated position. Not clear what to do, you know, the usual. We are chessing, as we do. Knight e5 also was an option, now that I realize. But knight takes, bishop takes, the pawn on e2. Yeah, you know what? I'm not disliking my position too much. Perhaps I want to even go for rook e1, e4. Why not? Perhaps I trade first, though. And if they take with the pawn, okay, I go e3 and we play against the isolated pawn. Interesting positions here. Okay, they go for it. They push. They push, ladies and gentlemen. They do it. They do it. Okay. But now again, my idea was to just go here and here. After this, perhaps they want to play b6. Okay, but then I can take, steal knight here, winning a tempo. And then I perhaps try to advance and have an outside pass pawn on the right moment. I'm also looking at the square, rook d1 to follow. I mean, it's not so obvious what they want to do here. Okay, so let me do it. Okay. So I guess their idea is to go bishop here. What if I go knight here, bishop here, knight to g5, takes. Knight here doesn't work. Knight anywhere works, perhaps h6, well then I just go back here. So knight here, I'm not disliking it. Perhaps they want to push. Maybe I've underestimated this position. But I don't know. Perhaps I want to overprotect the e2 pawn with rook e1. Yeah, all of a sudden I'm not so sure about what's going on here, because after knight here, pawn here, it doesn't look too nice. Because like if I move my knight, which I'm kind of forced to, then bishop here it's quite bad. I go here, they defend. It's true that then I jump in, but it's like everything is hanging by a thread here. But also, how do they defend everything? You know what? I'm going for it. If I lose, I lose. That's the philosophy right there. If I lose, I lose. And we learn some positions, some chess. Okay, knight here. Rook here. These may as well be losing, you know? May very well be. And if that's the case, so be it. I'm playing really risky chess, but I'm in the mode of like, just let's go, you know? But this is a good sign. It means that I'm playing positions that I don't often see. Like, for example, this line here, I never know what to do, you know? And also the previous game, it was like an opening that I never face. And so this forces me to like find myself in this weird end games. Okay, so bishop there is interesting. I can take already, thinking about this, but I don't think it works. But it's interesting. I can also play knight here with the idea of just winning this pawn. If rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes, I just take it. So I think I'm gonna go here, trying to see what happens. And again, that center looks impressive, but also is it? And not to mention, there is something on f7. Not now, but f7's there. Also, after queen here, pawn takes here, 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 I'm just taking their whole queenside. Their bishop's dead, I have super good pieces, this pawn's about to fall. You know what, maybe queen here was actually good, but now is perhaps even better. It's not clear what they're gonna play. This guy's weak. And I'm sure there are some moves for them that are like completely fine and whatnot, but they also have to find them. Rook a to d1 is coming, which is just crazy. It didn't work before because they can give it up for the knight, and this guy keeps looking at this. You know, it's annoying, but or perhaps even this, but I don't know. Their position looks. I don't want to say dubious because that's a big strong word, but perhaps. So as you can see, positions like these are very complicated. They're very unique, but they're also very complicated. And I kind of enjoy playing those type of complicated positions. And in those type of positions, like calculation is truly everything. They sacrifice it indeed. I was expecting it basically, but now I can take here, no? I mean, I take, they take, I take, they take, I take. Perhaps they want to push. Maybe they want to push. But then I attack here. They push again. But then I attack here. It's not clear how they defend their things. Okay, so I'm gonna take. I can take with the bishop perhaps, but I guess it transposes. So I'm gonna take with the knight. Also, the knight is a little bit misplaced on g5, so I'm now kind of restituting into society a bit. Okay, they played that. But now I just simply go rook d1. And there is a lot of pressure. And maybe I'm rushing with the moves. Maybe I'm just rushing, you know. Maybe rook d1 is just a rushed move, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe it is, though. Who knows? And now they go queen to... They go queen to g6. Okay, so queen g6. What's the big deal of queen g6? It attacks the rook. That's fair. Now, how do I defend? I can defend in a little bit of the annoying way, which is rook e1. threatening checkmate. I can defend it like that. They can play king f8, but king f8... king f8... I can play queen d5. It's a little bit annoying. I can also play queen d3. Knight here is not a thing. But also, what am I threatening with this? Nothing really. I can play rook here to try to target this guy, but then they just push, I guess. So, yeah, I don't know. Perhaps I can play queen f3. And even that, what am I achieving with this move? Well, there are some lines where if they push, I can just play rook g4. So queen f3 is very interesting. Perhaps the move I'm gonna settle with. I can also rotate to queen f4 and queen c7 if needed. I can't play b5 anymore though. But did I want to play queen b5? Maybe. Rook here is very interesting. What can they play on rook here? h6, let's say. Yeah, that's already very good. h6, what do I do? Queen f3, h6, h4, let's say even, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with this. But also, is the queen good on b3? I really don't know what to play. I'm gonna go with queen to f3. I kinda like that. It's, of course, a complex position. h6. They still can push. I think I'm gonna go h4. Queen here. They want to push the pawn. But pushing the pawn I don't think is ever a good idea. I just open up my bishop and it's kind of over for them. So, but also they perhaps want to play knight to e5, which looks interesting. So perhaps I want to prevent that. What if I play rook f4, knight here, but then I go here? So after rook here, they kind of have to do something about that. Let's see. Whoa. Knight there. I saw this move, but I thought it was not good. I thought. A rook there, fair enough. But now I can go here. I can also check them here, perhaps. I can also check them here. And if they go here, I win their bishop. And if they go here, I check them here. Okay, I like this. Now, if I go here, what's happening? They can go here. Because I don't understand. If I go here, take, it's good. After this, check in the end, actually. So I can't take then. I can't even take. I can't even take. But okay, I can go here perhaps. I can go here, which is a nasty move. If they push, I check. They block, I take, they take, I take, they push even more. And I'm in massive trouble, I lose. I guess I'm in massive trouble no matter what. So perhaps this is the move, they play f6. Tough, man. Tough. Wait, if I go here and they push, I just take here. For a moment I got hallucinations. For a moment I got hallucinations. They defend, correct. What if I go here though? Let me try it. There is this now, but there is this then. This position's crazy. There are some crazy lines here that it's not obvious what's going on. It's really not obvious what's going on. King h7, queen e4, f6, h5, d3. I don't think that works though. H takes, g takes, bishop takes. Yeah, that doesn't work. But if that doesn't work, it's probably done. It's probably done for. So yeah, I have some interesting attacks coming up here. Definitely interesting attacks. And yeah. There is a line where I'm up a pawn in the end, which is crazy. Which is crazy. And I think you're crazy. My opponent's back. H6. I don't have that much time. So I guess I'm just gonna go here. Not sure what's going on. Because the thing is they can never push because I take threatening checkmate in the end. That's the thing. And that's what I'm banking on. If that's not true, I'm kind of screwed. Also, there was this, but I don't know about that. I think h5 is just stronger. Because I'm threatening to take. They can take with the knight, I guess. But I don't know. But I don't know. Because then I go here. Yeah. Rook there. Does bishop here works? Now I think it works. No, it does not. Freak. Now I'm threatening almost mate though. No, I'm threatening mate now. Yeah, now I'm threatening mate. I probably had some great moves, but I can't find them. I just can't find them. Also, he was threatening nothing. Perhaps king g2, setting up h takes or something, or bishop takes was better, but can't quite play it. Now I'm threatening check and checkmate because the rook is not allowing the queen to guard this. Also, no, I'm threatening also queen g8. So, no, I'm threatening many mates here. I'm threatening many mates. These may be one of the only moves. But no, it's checkmate anyways. Wow, that's tough. Okay, no, that's tough now. No, maybe what I played was actually best. That's tough. Queen f6 can't be played either because I just capture. Wow, that's tough now. What are they gonna do? Tough. But I have only 14 seconds. Rook h8 I play no matter what. Unless queen f6, then I take the queen. Okay, GG. Wow, what a game. What a game. I feel like I was worse at some point, but I just went with it and it worked out. Yeah, definitely not really precise. I guess I used all the precision for the first game, you know? I made one blunder, 5 inaccuracies. Yeah, not the best game. I kind of used all of my precision and all of my accuracy for that first game, yeah. Now, 95 is the move. Okay, 95. And after knight here, what to do? Well, taking, I guess. And here... What if e6, let's say? c4. Okay. And if they take queen a4, and if they play queen d7, queen takes c4, attacking the bishop, and bishop f5, just knight c3, and I have a better position. Okay, so after bishop g4, I know I have to play knight e5. And after knight e5, bishop f5, knight takes, b takes, pawn takes, e4, c4, bishop takes, pawn takes, and here, queen takes d5, queen takes d5, bishop takes d5, rook here, let's say, bishop back to g2, check, bishop d2, bishop takes, knight takes, knight e7, knight c4, f6, b3, bishop e6, castle, what about taking? Okay, just looking at some lines. Okay, bishop g4, there is knight e5, but I played c3, which is already inaccurate, and now it's just equal. I went for this plan, which is not terrible. I'm happy to see this is not like the worst thing in the world. And here I should have played e3. Fair enough. But knight c4, e4, knight here, bishop takes, rook here. And here d3 should have been played. But after knight c4, what happens? This is actually terrible because of e3. Whoa. I would have never played e3 ever. I mean, I would have never saw e3 ever. So here I should have played bishop takes f6. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, removing this g takes, knight takes. Okay, but this is not something I hate. I don't hate this. The problem is knight d4. Is knight d4 the only move here? If the engine loads, let's do not infinite, but I would like to see perhaps 3 lines. Okay. Knight d4 or bishop b8, even bishop b8. Okay, this is a little bit more difficult to understand. So knight d4, bishop b8, and they're actually slightly better. Okay, they're actually slightly better. Okay, not easy to understand why though. But bishop d3 is wrong because of queen takes d3 indeed. Indeed, going for that line. Let's look at it. Rook takes, knight takes, bishop takes, rook b8. Bishop takes a6, and yeah, I have these 3 passed pawns. These 2 guys are going nowhere. This guy's dead. These 2 guys are misplaced. The rooks doing nothing. And I just have a slightly better position, even though I'm down the exchange. But okay, knight d6 is equal. Rook takes, c takes, queen takes is wrong. They should have played queen e5 to keep their pawns. And now all of a sudden I'm better. Here I should have played queen takes d3. Obviously, why didn't I do that? Unreal. Yeah, I'm not playing my best chess. Here I should have played h6, obscure. Rook a to e1 better to threaten mate, but rook d1, queen g6 better was king f8. And now rook d to e1 I should have played, which I thought about. And after h6, rook e8. Ah, and what if they take, sorry? Queen d5 anyways. Yeah, but because, you know, I'm up the exchange. Oh, because, yeah, they sacrificed an exchange. I forgot that I was up an exchange. Yeah, definitely not playing my best chess here. Definitely not playing my best chess. What if they push? King g2, what if they push again? Oh, just take it so they can do nothing here? Yeah, I'm not playing my best chess. That's for sure. I used all my accuracy for the first game. Fantastic. And now, 95 is a blunder. Yeah, of course 95 is a blunder. Queen d7 should have been played. Queen e2. The game continues, but this hangs this. And rook c1, okay, perhaps not the best, but is good enough. This is wrong. Queen b6 was required. But then I trade and... It's not easy, but... Check, check, g6, h5, rook e7, king g7 was best, and then you still go there. And I mean, that's just brutal. That's just brutal, but... Rook e7 was played, queen a8, and there's nothing to be done. What's the best move, just out of curiosity? Knight f3 check, and rook takes f3, and you just win the game. And now queen e5 at least is playable. But you go rook f8, this guy's hanging. Okay, well, I won my couple of games. The first game, definitely, I'm the one that I'm the most proud. The second game, I just got outplayed. But I also went out of theory, so it's fine. And this third game, my opponent went out of theory. Because bishop g4 is not a move that is contemplated, I think. Now I'm gonna look at it, but... Let's go on chessable. Let's go on chessable and let's see. Knight f3, d5, g3, c5, bishop g2, knight c6, d5. Yeah, knight f6 is covered, c takes is covered, but not bishop to g5. Yeah. So okay, that's a good news because it means that well, I shouldn't write 15 here because that doesn't count. It's a good news because now we are at 15. 15 out of 100 games played in the repertoire, which is great. And rating is 2330 or 2340. Yeah, 2340, so I'm basically around this rating by now. It has been quite some games since I've been here, and I guess that's my fair rating now. Which is good because I would say that 6 months ago my fair rating was like 2280, 2290, and so I increased by 50 points here on the chess. And that's of course a big satisfaction. I guess that now it's time to again double down on studying, like I'm always doing, so not really doubling down, but you know what I mean. And yeah, increase, improve. And that's why we're here. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your chess.